Following program is sponsored by John Chachis Insurance, your local farmers insurance agent located 800 Avenue G in Ely, and brought to you as a public service by KGTV, Channel 10 in Ely, Nevada. White Pine County Commission meeting, December 30th, 2019.
One minute on my phone past there, I think we're close enough. Go ahead. Good afternoon and welcome to the Monday, December 30th special meeting of White Pine County Commission. Would you all please stand and join us in the pledge? And Lauren, why don't you lead us today?
Thank you.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
As per normal, our first item on the agenda is to allow you 1 minute to either pray or meditate or whatever you'd like to do. So the first moment of the meeting is a moment of silence, so we will open with that. Okay, the next item on the agenda is public comment. Is there any public comment before we enter today's meeting, the start of the meeting? Anyone have any comment? Please come forward, state your name.
Ask one here. I'm not usually at this podium for that. My name is Jed Peeler. I'm a former member of the Regional Planning Commission and the City of Ely Planning Commission. And I have to take a moment to address that editorial. It was in the December 19th Ely Times. It was a special, quote unquote, to the Times, unsigned article that took an attack against myself and my fellow past commissioners. They said we were do-nothings, old people, fossils. We should get out of the way and let these young people take over, which we've asked them to do all these years, and they never have. Matter of fact, we have most of our meetings to an empty audience, except for George.
Another
One
fossil.
other person. George is at all the place. But anyway, we were discredited. We didn't do anything while we've been on these boards for decades. We're like old cars, you know, that should have been phased out. And there was just a myriad of attacks on us. And I'd just like to clear up the records. And we actually did stuff. Well, we did things that helped the people here. We saved the commission time, which is a lot of money. People relied on our judgment. We did a lot of research, getting in our cars and going out to where the action is and seeing it. I mean, way out in the Diamond Mountains, Preston, wherever it took us, and to make these decisions, you know, so that you could make it easier for the commissions. And Lori knows that. and to be attacked like that, right before they know there's going to be some more people picked as applicants, you know, more bigger pool of applicants. I think that's despicable. And I wrote an editorial, and they wouldn't even print it. I wrote a counter editorial to that. They wouldn't even print it. So I want that on the record, that they wouldn't even print our response. That's how much they respect us. So that's all I have to say today. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jim.
Any other public comment? Anyone? George, you got anything today?
I'm not going to let you down.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I want to basically reflect what Mr. Peeler said. That newspaper is biased. I thought I was the only one that couldn't get anything printed in the paper, yet they say, write to us. That's wrong. That is wrong. We will always have differences of opinion. Jed was one of the better members on that planning commission. We didn't always agree, but in all honesty, he was one of the better commissioners. You need to reflect that when you're making your choices today. You got a lot of people that are from one family? No, folks. That are from one organization? Again, no. You need a nice, diverse representation on that board, and you don't have that. The newspaper, I read the same article, gotta stop. Either that or allow comments reflecting both arguments, and they're not doing that. Mr. Chairman, I've yet to see an item on the agenda regarding an update from the economic development person representing White Pine County. Again, where are we at? What is being done? Is that person being paid? If so, what is the salary? Months ago, I talked to one person who I thought was the economic development person, and I expressed the need for a coal supplier. I've earned coal as well as others in the county. Here we are in winter, still no response. I'm going to Utah to get my coal. I want a response from that person. Mr. Chairman, recently the parking island between the Jailhouse Motel and the Four Seasons Motel was recently redone and does not meet minimum ADA standards. The center sidewalk has been removed and needs to be put back. People are now forced to walk into the street. Those that may be handicapped are put into a hazardous situation. One person stated, well, they can cross the street and use the sidewalk there. Not good enough. They can also go across town and get a sidewalk. That facility, the convention center, was built for one reason, and it has to be friendly. When you're doing new construction, you don't have a choice. ADA must be met. Half-baked project. Half-baked. You need to put people on these commissions who know what they're doing. Those people don't. And prior to construction, I says, I'd like to look at the plan prior. No problem. Well, they built it. Now there is a problem. I don't know everything, but I know that that thing does not meet minimum ADA. Needs to go. Where's your building inspector? Is he still in Eureka? Mr. Chairman, the so-called repair of the Centennial Fine Arts Building, the required building, is becoming a farce. Did you see what they're doing there? Did they get a permit? I still have a leak in my building. Where's your inspector? What am I paying for? That needs to stop.
Okay, thank you. Your 3 minutes are up for this time. There'll be some more public comment later.
I'll be back.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Some of your
I need,
input is great.
we need some change, Mr.
Okay,
Chairman.
well, that's why we're doing what we're doing today. Okay, any other public comment? Is there anything else prior to the last call? Hearing and seeing none, I am going to recess the county commission meeting and open the special fire commission meeting. It's on page 2. Item A, special fire commission meeting. The first thing in the special fire commission meeting is public comment. Is there any public comment on the fire commission meeting before we open? Anyone? Last call, hearing, seeing none, we'll move forward. The first item is discussion for possible action, approval of the fiscal year 2019 comprehensive annual financial report for the White Pine County and the White Pine County Fire Protection District. Elizabeth.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. This was presented by our independent auditor at the December 11th meeting. However, due to the agenda item, you weren't able to take action as a fire commission, so I'm asking that you go ahead and approve the annual financial report for the fire district. It is on page 121 in your backup documentation. I'm happy to answer any questions if there are any. Otherwise, I just ask that you go ahead and approve.
Anyone got a question of it? If not, I'll look for a motion to approve.
Move to approve.
Second.
Motion by Travis, a second by Lori. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? None? Passed unanimous?
I have a quick comment though.
Okay.
I think that it'd be appropriate that if the fire chief hasn't seen it, that at least he gets a copy of what's relevant to him.
Okay.
Good enough?
Will do, thank you.
Thank
Do you have a comment?
No, I just probably should see that.
He probably should be here.
Okay.
Yeah, so I know where I'm at.
Do you think, well, we need to take an action on this today, doesn't it have to be done by,
Well,
We approved,
finances are
yeah.
approved, we got,
Okay.
item two is.
Used to have legacy.
Yeah.
It's just an
We haven't
issue with
voted.
the-
Yeah.
It's already been gone through.
Yeah.
a motion and a second?
But you still need to get a copy of it.
Yeah, just a copy of it will be fine.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Item 2, discussion for possible action, the approval to move the meetings from a monthly basis to a quarterly basis now that the majority of the immediate needs have been met. For the committee assigned August 14, 2019 to streamline and coordinate efforts in getting outlying volunteer fire departments' needs addressed in the most expedient manner possible to be effective January 1st, 2020. And this was put on by Vice Chairman Travis Goddard.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chairman. After our last meeting, we discussed this a little bit, and I followed up with Lori, and she thought quarterly basis for them to meet as we just have those big capital projects from here on out that need to be completed, and that Brett's well on his way as well, so she thought it was good to go ahead on just a quarterly basis.
I think we all got a letter from McGill,
Mhm.
and I thought we addressed this in front of you. Did a good job, Travis. We did a good job. We addressed this in front of the other town councils. We have identified these needs in these outlying areas. They weren't budgeted for in the 19 budget, so we will be addressing that. So the letter from the McGill Town Council, which I took personally as a slap in the face to the commission.
I agree.
We did take action, we are taking action, and we explained to each one of the volunteer fire departments in the outlying areas, Baker, Lund, McGill. We're working on it, we've got a good committee done, we've addressed it, we know what the needs are, and we're going to do it. But to write us a letter saying we didn't do it and they want it done now, we are going to address it during the budget season for the 2021 budget. We have acted on it, so I want to make that perfectly clear so that anyone who hears something on the outside, we are addressing the needs of all the outside volunteer fire departments, and so.
Mr. Chairman, if I can just comment, there's some things they're asking us to do that would be illegal
Okay,
financially. And so I think there's a passage in the New Testament that says, forgive them, they know not what they do.
thank you very much.
It's not just lay on them too heavy, they just want it done. There's some financial issues. We can't just appropriate money that we don't have
Right,
allocated.
and I did send out an email to the committee group and briefly the best way, maybe if everybody had time that we could meet it briefly after this commission meeting and decide the best way to respond to it, is kind of what I was
Yeah, and
wanting to do.
we'll invite them to come and participate with our budget sessions coming up in the next couple months, and we'll address these issues and make sure that we have their input so they understand the system, the process legally. Other than that, this is just the action item to move those
Right.
meetings to quarterly, and I want to put on the record also, this is not an assigned committee, doesn't fall under community law, this was just a handful of individuals that Elizabeth has assembled to address some of these needs.
But I just wanted to bring that out and thank you, Lori, thanks, Mike. But we need to make that clear. Sometimes we get, just like they were addressing, letters that just have no basis to them. We have done it. So that being said, and the discussion had, so this motion, or this agenda item that Travis has been to, is for us to go ahead and approve quarterly, from monthly to quarterly meetings. Is there any other comment by any commissioner?
I'd just like to thank the committee. I think they've done a great job. I think Brett
Absolutely.
and his predecessor Ralph just really dove into this. And I'm so impressed with how expedient you are on getting these things handled. And I appreciate that.
And for the record, a week ago Monday, or 2 weeks ago Monday, I can't remember, it's been such a busy holiday, I went ahead and introduced myself to the Ely volunteers over there, over at their meeting, so just.
Good. Very good. Good. Yeah, we are now one, so moving forward. Okay, any other discussion by any commissioner? That being said, let's look for a motion to approve this action.
So moved. Second.
Motion by Ian, second by Shane. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? None, pass unanimous. There's nothing else right now on the Special Fire Commission meeting, so before we close, I'd ask for public comment on any of the action that we've taken so far in the Special Fire Commission meeting. Does anyone please come forward? State your name.